Today we're talking with Michael Goldstein and General Monistere about managing the many AI tools available for MSPs. So let's dive right in. With so many tools to choose from, how can MSPs identify which ones are truly necessary and which ones are just redundant?
I'll start. First of all, we don't do it very well. We have a terminology we call it tool set creep. And I've always said, if you're not cutting the tool sets that you're using, they're growing. But we tend to categorize them. I try to put them in 4 different buckets. The first one is what's revenue generating. The second one would be what's revenue protecting. And then what is creating efficiencies corporately. And then what's creating efficiencies individually. And so we put them in those buckets, and then we start looking at, okay, is the spend worth the return on investment? And if so, where are there overlap? And so there are places that we can find where we can hey, we can consolidate this tool set and then thereby basically decrease the cost that it takes to actually service our customers.
I think that you come to an event like this and we're all looking at the shiny objects that are out there. And like Don said, we have to look at what we use, what would change in our help desk support, what customers would want to look at, and what the training level would be at this. And we do have overlap of tools, but I like to try to put myself lots of times in our help desk seat just to try to figure out how do I solve this problem and realize that we really need to trim down and see where AI could do the job of 4 as opposed to a job of 1.
When it comes to integrating multiple tools, what are the biggest challenges MSPs face?
Yeah, for me, it's a little bit different in that in the last 4 years, we've acquired 7 companies. Our biggest challenge is usually it comes with their own set of tool sets, and they've utilized those tool sets to integrate into their business, into their PSA tool. And so sometimes for us, we have to disconnect all of that and then make a decision on, okay, what are we going to standardize to? And then reconnect all that. And there's always engineering emotion with that, right? Because they're used to their tool set, right? And so we always are fighting those battles, if you will, those internal battles of, hey, we really have standardized to this tool set. You're going to have to change your way of thinking because this is how we're going to go on the go forward.
We're looking at vendors like Kaseya and the new Kaseya 365 where everything itself comes integrated. And it might not be a tool set that we use for everything, but having that integration is really key. And it's in the question and answers that you're talking to those vendors. Will it integrate today with my PSA? How it will integrate? Do I need a third-party tool to actually integrate it? And all that thought pattern comes into that.
Cost is always a factor. How do you balance the cost of AI tools against their benefits?
We're looking at, and again, I go back to the, as a business owner, taking that seat at the help desk for 3-4 hours just to see what's there, answering calls, going out there. If I could, I've worked in professional services all my life. A lot of our customers are CPAs and law firms. So in reality, if I can save them, 30 seconds on every hour, time's money. So I think that we have to look at it. And then we also have to look at the training curve. So if we can make it simpler and convince our staff that this will make your life a lot easier, it affects the bottom line.
We were just talking about proof of value, right? Always looking at each tool set and proving its value to your service delivery model. And we talk a lot about price or cost per seat, right? A lot of times our customers want to know, hey, how much is it going to cost me to do business with you per user? And so we're always looking at, okay, what is that cost per user? And if we're going to increase that cost, is it valuable to the customer? And is that something that we can pass along? Or is that something that's going to create so much efficiency within our business that it'll save us money in other areas? So we're always looking at that pretty closely because, like I said, most engineers love tool sets. And so they're always going to tell you that we have to have it. And what we do after we hear that request is, okay, let's prove out the value. And let's see if that is valuable to the customer. And if it is, and we can pass that along, then it's an easy decision. If we can't pass it along, is it going to save us money somewhere else?
And twice a year we go through this exercise of just analyzing what our cost of goods are, line by line, and then what our sale price is, and analyze that. And you hit the nail on the head. The product might cost me more, but my time can go down, and that cost savings is just a given.
Finally, with so many AI tools popping up, how do you prioritize which AI tools to purchase, and how often do you reevaluate your current tool set?
Yeah, for us, I mean, we break that down into like the individual tools that they may be using without our knowledge. And so we've decided, okay, let's create some governance around that so that we know for sure that they're utilizing the tools correctly in a corporate setting. And then we have what I would call corporate sponsored artificial intelligence type tool sets. And man, those are varied and many. And we typically will have a small group of people who will test them and again, provide some proof of value to the organization. And if we can prove that value, we move forward. And then we start looking at, are any of these tools that we're using something that we can actually offer as a service to our customers? And those definitely take priority because they generate revenue.
Yes.
And we treat our users just like we treat our customers at this point. Lockdown, look at what they're doing, find out things. Our staff goes out there and finds tools. We'll try it in our test lab, make sure that it's a valid tool, and it has to pass our test. Our test is really make sure, A, could we make money? B, is it supportable? It's 2 in the morning, they're utilizing one of these tools, can I get support? How that vendor is, what kind of program they are, and hey, will they be around in the next 2-3 years?
So important. Thank you so much, Michael and Donald, for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For more interviews just like this one, be sure to tune into the AI in Action newsroom. For the Channel Company, I'm Sydney Neely.